Hey guys, Jason, Fox Tree Creations. Today I'm going to get real with you. I've been wanting to do big 40-ounce tumblers for a while, but I've been a little intimidated because I've only used the rollers. I haven't actually used the chuck. And I've only done the 20-ounce tumblers, and they turn out just fine on that roller. But with those big 40-ounce cups and the handle, and having to take the handle off and bend stuff and all that, it just don't work with the roller. And so I've been afraid of the chuck until now, because I got the RA2 rotary attachment from XTool, the accessory. And it allows you to tilt that cup just right. And so I'm going to go ahead and unbox it and test it out just to see if it's really worth the hype. So stay tuned and let's see what we figure out. All right, guys, here we are, bedroom shop, and today I'm going to talk to you about tumblers and the tools that I use to do my tumblers and my new tool that I got so I can do bigger tumblers. So currently I make 5 different 20-ounce tumblers. You got my Don't Tread on Me tumbler right here. My Wanderer, it's a pretty nice one too. My Faith tumbler. Now, one of my best sellers, the Sarcastic tumbler. I love it. I'm sarcastic because a bunch of people is frowned upon. And then my Freedom tumbler, which is a really nice flag, and then the eagle with We the People on it. It's one of the favorites. And I do craft shows, and my tumblers do sell. So I've had a lot of questions about doing these big 40-ounce tumblers with the handle on them. And to be honest, I've been a little intimidated by it because all I've done so far are these 20-ounce tumblers, and really all I do, put a rubber band on here so they don't move around, and then I put them on the roller, level it, and just let it rip. And that's worked out really well so far, but I can't do that with them 40-ounce tumblers. And I haven't even used the chuck yet. And so it's a little intimidating for me. And I've watched videos, and it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me to some degree, because, you know, you put it on there and then you have to tilt this, and it just looks like a big mess. But you know, XTool just came out with this new accessory kit for the RA2 Pro. And I went ahead and ordered it. And what we're going to do, we're going to unbox it, and then we're going to test it out and try us one of them 40-ounce tumblers and see just how well it works. And I think it might be a game changer, guys. So stay tuned and we'll see what happens. All right, so first, let's go ahead and let's get this box open, and let's just see what we have inside. So I get the old knife here. Let's just go ahead and start cutting this box open and seeing what exactly is in it. All right, of course, we got the book. Parts. All right, so far it looks well made and well maintained here. All ready for us to take a look at. What I really like about XTool is they definitely package everything real nice, and everything has a pretty good weight to it. It's definitely not cheap plastic. It feels pretty solid and heavy. Of course, provide screwdrivers. Got plenty of screwdrivers and some batteries. I'm going to put this thing together real quick, and give me just a moment, and we'll cover more in just a second. All right, guys, we got it put together. And I went ahead and put a cup on here, and I've taken the handle off, and I bent the prongs over so it'll fit in the laser. And just to kind of demonstrate what I've done, The neat thing with this, so I turn that on. I can't tell if you can see it for sure, but it actually gives a nice laser line all the way down to say this is the center where your laser needs to be at. And so basically what I've seen is I put the level right about here. And now I can raise and lower this thing with this knob rather than having to use the dial and mess with leveling everything. This actually tilts the cup up and down. And so that could be a really big game changer. I don't know yet because I haven't done this before. So next what we're going to do is we're going to jump on the laser, go ahead and do a full wrap laser engrave and see if this is worth the hype. All right, guys, here I am in Lightburn. And as you can see, this is the image I'm going to put on my 40-ounce tumbler. It's my Freedom tumbler for my 40-ounce tumblers. And as you can see, my speed, I'm going to run at 120 millimeters per second at 80% power. I ran a quick test and found that that's probably going to be my best settings for these tumblers. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to frame, and the size I found will be 324 millimeters around and 240 millimeters tall. So here we go. Let me go ahead and frame this and let's get this started. Whoa. All right, guys. So luckily we framed that first and saw that the height is a little bit off. So I'm going to bring this down to 235. And let's go ahead and let's frame this again. And let's see how that looks. All right. All right, guys, I like that frame job a whole lot better. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to get this going, and we're going to see how this does. All right, so let's go ahead and run the job. All right, guys, now that that's done, what we're going to do, we're going to take this out of the chuck. Just carefully turn it the right direction. There we go. And now that it's out, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and clean it down with some alcohol. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get this isopropyl alcohol, and we're going to go ahead and put that on this right quick. Put a fairly healthy amount on your towel there, and we're just going to wipe this down. And it's going to get real nice and shiny and pretty for us. All right, and then after I get done with this, what I like to do is I like to take it to the kitchen sink and go ahead and wash it down real good with some dishwasher soap. And we'll scrub it down and we'll get it real nice and pretty. So here we are in the kitchen. I'm just going to go ahead, get some hot water here, get it good and wet, and then we're going to scrub it down with some soap. Yeah, just don't be afraid to scrub it. You're not going to tear it up none, and it's going to shine up real nice now. All right. And now you got your nice, pretty tumbler. Look at that. All right, so all that's left now is we're going to put those handles back on. All right, so what I do, I usually get my screwdriver in here just a little bit, pry them up a little so I can get my pliers in there to lift them back up. So I just get my screwdriver here, just carefully kind of pry it up a little so I don't tear up anything. And I do that on both of them, just enough to where I can get my pliers in there. All right, and then we get our pliers and we just straighten these back up. All right, so after we get those straightened up, I get the handle and I put my handle back on, just like so. And then you put your screws in and everything's done. Now I always put the top screw in first, this screw right here, because it's going to be the hardest one to get in. And I've also found you always want your screwdriver to the left of the handle. Generally, that's the easiest way to do it, if you put the screwdriver on the left side. At least the cups that I've used. Some of them might be different, but I've always heard the left side is the easiest side to go to. All right, that's all there is to it. So now I got this beautiful new tumbler. It says "We the People" on one side, "Freedom" on the other. So it won't be long before I start adding this to my website, because I gotta say that RA2 Pro Rotary accessory, it's definitely worth the hype. I couldn't have done this with the rollers and the chuck and having to level the whole base part. That would have been kind of trickier. But having that piece that you can just twist and it raises and lowers and you don't have to worry about putting stuff under it, that's a game changer. I like it. So just stay tuned and I'll teach you more, okay?